Oh, here we go. Let me just hit my frequency. Volume on the line? Yeah. Whoa. Always remember. Or maybe the volume needs to be a little up. No, a little bit up. Anyways. Well. Welcome to another edition of the Ricardo show. Almost forgot my own show there for a second. Chaos in Toronto. Just chaos. There's a huge thunderstorm that just happened. And traffic is bad. Thank God I'm here, Almost saw a couple accidents, as usual, but this was even worse. I don't know why people just stop in the middle of the road. It's just the thing that still baffles to me today on the highway. But anyways, I digress. Whatever. We have a great show for you tonight. We have 3 guests. They all are, singers, songwriters, producers. You can say, they're from the United States. I didn't know one of the guys was going to be on the show as well. But you know what? It's going to be a party. All right. We have Roger Ortega going to be joining us, and Mr. EDSON Green and Mr. NITTY Green. Right? 2 greens? I think that's right. Right?
Shung.
There we go. Joseph, is that good? They're both named Green? No,
we
right?
got NITTY Green, EDSON, Sean, and Roger.
You know what? I can't read my own writing sometimes. There we go. Sean. That's what I got confused. I wrote it in two spots. I knew the guys' names anyway. They're going to be joining us shortly, Joseph? Okay, awesome. And Joseph just said, yeah, for the people at home. I'm not pretending I'm crazy, okay, folks? But it's great to be here. A little late for the show. Again, I apologize. This is the Ricardo show, Not a podcast about I Love Lucy, all right, or anything in that realm. But we interview artists from all over, genres and varieties and stuff. And today we do have 3 great guests. And they'll be joining us shortly. I'm wearing my Kansas City jersey. Because one of them's from Topeka, Kansas, I believe. I don't know if it's the same place. But anyways, and then one's from Brooklyn. I didn't get to see NITTY Green's where he's from, but we'll ask him on the show. We'll ask where they came from, what they've been doing, during this COVID thing. We'll ask them what's coming up for them. I do believe they have a concert coming up, but that's already sold out. Maybe a single or a CD. We'll see what happens with them. For me,
Hey, what's up, brother?
Oh. Who's this? Roger Ortega?
Ortega, yes, sir. Yes. Is this Joseph?
Oh, this is Ricardo. This is the guy, the host of the show.
Oh, what's up, Ricardo? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing? Sorry for the lateness. I was explaining to the listeners at home. Crazy thunderstorm.
That's all right.
Huge traffic.
I'm glad you guys are okay. I hope you're okay, at least.
Oh, yeah, we're okay. Just a little PTSD afterwards. It's just going to be okay. But it's going to be great, man. How you doing, Roger?
Good. Were you able to get NITTY's information as well?
Not really.
We have everybody, guys.
We have the whole group here now. It's like we have what's it called?
Yeah,
Boys to Men.
There's one more guy actually that's on the show with us. This EDSON, Sean, and NITTY Green. It's both of us.
Yeah.
All 3 of us. Actually.
We're waiting for one of them. We got 2 already.
Who are we waiting for, Joseph?
We're waiting for one more. Exactly.
All right, it's over. It's no problem. So who do we have on the line right now? We have because I can't really see who's online because my
That's
feed.
okay. We got Roger Ortega and EDSON Sean.
Awesome. Okay, this is great, guys. A pleasure to have you guys on. We'll just start and then we'll have EDSON come in as well.
No, Edson's here.
Edson's here. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe I misheard.
EDSON, yeah.
Okay, so EDSON and Roger.
NITTY's the one that's.
Okay. Well, NITTY was the last minute addition, so that's great. It's fun, perfectly fine. EDSON, thank you for joining us. Roger, thank you for joining us. This is going swell as I thought it would be. This is great, guys. Thank you. Guys, I wanted to ask you guys because you guys have 2 different, styles of music. How did you guys get together? Like, where do you guys meet?
so it's funny. We're each individual artists.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so Edson and I go back to 1998, and that's when we met all those years ago. And when I decided to get back into music back in 2011, I reached out to him because I trusted him. I knew him. I knew he was doing music. I knew he's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
So I hired him on to be my producer and help record me. And so I think he's probably mastered and recorded, a good 80-90% stuff. So, but he's also, an artist in his own right, where he's like hip hop, soul, singer, rapper, amazing. But I'll let him tell you about that.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it. So I like to call my sound hip hop soul, because at the foundation, even like my R&B songs, the foundation of it is always hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Started out in a hip hop group, and I graduated into marrying the two sounds, because I grew up singing in the church,
Mm-hmm.
but then 88 hit, and I fell in love with Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, yeah.
And so then all of a sudden I started focusing on that. But now I've just found a way to marry both styles together, and so I call it hip hop soul.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, because I heard your song with Redman, and I'm like, damn, that's a great fucking jam.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then you have like your own little band. Is that still going on? Like I think it's called the Edson, Sean, and the Experience. Am I right?
Yeah. So the Experience in that iteration is no longer.
Oh.
Everybody had their own musical endeavors that they wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
But I have like my core band that I usually play with.
Mm-hmm.
My guy Stefan Kondert, who's from Austria on bass, bad bassist. Another bassist I use, Hashim Bunch, and his cousin on guitar, Tony Bunch. And I have I call Daniel D. Drum on drums. So yeah, I have some musicians I play with. The Experience, not in that iteration, but I'm always looking to play live.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for me, I'm a big fan of watching live music, man. And COVID's hit, man. Like, how do you guys express yourselves when you guys are not able to perform in front of an audience?
Lyrically, songwriting for me, it's been songwriting and learning to play the piano. I learned to play the piano during the pandemic.
Oh wow!
And on September 18th, when we do our show, I'm actually going to be playing live for the very first time in front of people. So I'm very nervous about that, but I'm very excited to add this element to my show. So that's what we're trying to. That's what I did. I wrote songs and learned how to play the piano, and that, aside from spending time with my family, that's what got me through.
Oh man!
For me,
yeah.
I actually, same thing, songwriting, but I released some music during the pandemic. I released an EP called Relax, Relate, Release, because I had a high level of anxiety, which I'm sure several people did during, the pandemic, especially as a musician, and what's going to happen next. And then I released a song, and I think it was in the height of a lot of the racial tension, called Am I Next? Expressing how, young men of color, people of color, feel when they see a lot of these things on the news, like somebody who's running. I'm always out running, and then gets attacked by these guys who are quote unquote police in the area.
Yeah.
Am I going to be next? Because I could be doing something just as simple.
Yeah.
The other thing I did during the pandemic was I started making these custom guitars.
Oh, nice.
I don't have my baby with me here, but this is one custom guitar. My family's from Guyana.
Oh wow.
So the other one, I'm probably gonna bring that one on the 18th to do a song with it at the show. But yeah, that's the other thing I did during the pandemic.
That's amazing, dude.
Thank you.
And we got together in the pandemic too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We
got together. We were like, we needed to create.
Yeah.
We needed to create, and so we got together a few times, and try not to let it stop us too much.
And I know you guys have this show coming up and it's sold out, but when did this whole thing come together? When do you guys think, man, we should do a show together, and see what happens?
Talk about it all. We always talk about it, but I think I just decided to grab the bull by its horns and throw the damn thing myself.
Nice.
And this way we could have total control over it, the time, the location, the amount of tickets we needed to sell, and everything. And when I thought about doing this show, I thought about the lineup that I wanted, and Edson was the first person I thought of because he's my boy. I know how talented he is. And I always say that I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves for the level of talent that he's at. And so anytime I can put eyes on him, I love to do it. And people are always impressed when they walk away from anything that this man does. So I think the audience is going to get a great show from him. Then we have NITTY Green, who used to be in the group Riff, legendary R&B group. They were in the movie Lean on Me. I don't know if you remember that movie back in the day.
Yeah.
But they were the boy in the bathroom that sang, was it Fairy Side? Yeah, Fairy Side. And they went on to have success, in the R&B charts and whatnot after that. They did White Man Can't Jump. That was their song, and some other songs. But NITTY's also venturing out as a solo artist as well as doing stuff with the group. And so I wanted to showcase him too. I wanted the ladies to hear his voice because he's just got a smooth, beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a little something for everybody where Edson's going to bring that street cred, that bob your head, but with the beautiful soul voice on top of it. Yeah. NITTY's going to come in smooth with his beautiful voice, and then I'll come in and throw a wrench in the whole goddamn thing.
That's great. I think NITTY is on the phone right now. NITTY, are you there? Or maybe not. All right, because I saw in the Facebook chat he says I'm in, but I guess he's not in yet. Guys, I did want to ask you, like, I know Edson, you mentioned Big Daddy Kane. Was that like one of the earliest influences for you, or what? Like, who were?
Well, to be honest, even earlier than him is Stevie Wonder.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder because of his. It's like the way he uses melody, and the way he takes one genre and popularizes it. Like if you listen to a lot of his arrangements, it's really jazz standards. And he took like jazz chords and arrangements and put them in this pop concept. He popularized a lot of electronic music, especially that clavinet. And his way of creating images and painting pictures with his words. And it's ironic since he can't actually see, but he's able to like paint these pictures with his words. So Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, I just love the tone of his voice.
Wow, yeah.
And the way that he could just make you feel things. He could sing the alphabet and you'd start crying. And then, of course, Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane, once 88 hit, I didn't want to hear nothing about singing.
Yeah.
I was writing raps. I remember DJ Red Alert, which is a popular New York DJ. He would, have these blends where he would just play, he would like loop the instrumental, and I would get my little cassette tape and record it, and then start writing that. And then modern, like Black Thought from the Roots is another influence of mine.
Oh yeah, you named some great influences for yourself. Roger, how about you, man? Like you kind of got like the Weekend type of like feel to you.
I get that a lot. It's funny. I'm also bald, so I also get Pitbull when they see me. But listen, you guys have had some great success. If I can have a fraction of that success, I take it. You mentioned the Weekend. I have to throw back to Michael Jackson because that's kind of who he is, his voice.
Right.
Michael Jackson was a major influence on the way that I sing, and George Michael. I lean a little more on the pop side of influences, but George Michael was my number one influence in singing. I mean, his tone, his voice, the way he writes, even the way he says some of his words. I still say some of the words that that I do now, like he used to. DeBarge was a huge influence. I love his falsetto. And then when you get to songwriting, Babyface, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis, just major influences in songwriting. But Color Me Bad, actually, back in the 90s, Color Me Bad and New Kids on the Block were huge influences for me. So it's a different side of influences, but we get together, and Edson brings that to the studio for me, and we'll bring his influences. I'll bring mine, and then whatever I record comes out through both of our influences and experiences, and it's always cool. I'm always happy when I leave the studio.
I think that for both of us, actually, Boys to Men.
Boys to Men, right?
Yeah, that's where the marriage happens there. Like, when I think about when Roger and I are in the studio, those are some of the influences I think about. The New Kids on the Block, the Color Me Bads, the Boyz II Men. Like, even though it's just him, the way we arrange our vocal arrangements, I usually keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was in America, I would love to go to this show you guys have.
Yeah, we'd love to have,
Yeah.
we'd throw you right in VIP, man.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Since we're
right out.
yeah, thanks. We're still trying to get Nitty Green on the phone, so I just want to ask you, how did you guys meet Nitty Green?
So Nitty, I actually met through my management.
Nice.
She was his group Riff out with some stuff a couple years ago before the pandemic, and there was an event that they were going to, that I was going to, and we just connected there and hit it off, and we lost touch for a while through the pandemic, and then his group Riff was doing a show about 2 months ago, and I knew at this point I wanted to see if Nitty could do the show. And so I went to the show specifically to ask him in person if he would be interested in doing the show with us. I watched him and Riff tear it up, and I watched him do his thing. I'm like, man, he's gonna be perfect. And asked him to be on the show, and he was more thrilled to do it. And that's how it really came to be. I don't even know if you guys have met yet, Edson. Have you? You and
not in person. I mean, digitally, of course, but
right.
Well, that's gonna be a great experience when you guys all meet together, guys. I always wonder, like, what made you guys get into it? Like, what made you guys pursue music?
Man, I know for me,
Yeah.
You know, like how when you find that one thing that you wake up thinking about.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was for me. I remember as early as like 6 or 7, my mom and my dad used to listen to the Three Tenors.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember the other two.
Yeah.
And they would be singing, but to me it sounded so funny that I would be mocking them. Like I would be, mocking what they were singing. And I remember my godmother saying, like, you don't sound too bad. And really that's when the bug started.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think really like when I wanted to do professionally was in college, because again, I started singing in church. My mom forced me to play piano, which I hated.
Yeah.
But I thank her now for it. But then hip hop became a thing, and then that's really what my focus was. And then I ended up getting in a hip hop group.
Wow.
And probably around the time when I met Roger first, 98, when I decided like I wanted to do this thing, professionally, because my degree, and not a lot of people know this, my degree is in biology.
Oh, wow.
I have a biology degree. But thing that I wake up thinking about, I go to sleep thinking about it. So that's really what got me into it.
Oh, wow. Well, you sort of cut
me, I was.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Roger.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, please. I'm a Canadian. We allow you guys to go first. Please.
Well, I'm from Kansas, so we're both going to be at a stop sign. Like you go. So, yeah, with me, like I said, I was born in Kansas. I was born into a musical family. My dad and my uncles were in a band. I've been in a band. My dad passed away a few years ago, but my uncles still play together for my entire life. All I can remember, as far back as I can remember, is this is what I wanted to do. And then I thought I wanted to be a boxer.
Oh, wow.
And I went into boxing for quite a few years actually. And I thought, it'll be a good way to meet girls. But there were never any girls at the amateur fights. And I found that singing, I could meet more girls and not get punched in the face. It was much easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
And I
was the air horn, yes.
Yeah.
So that's where it was. It really was, a family thing. I just grew up. My dad played Tejano music, country. They played top 40 R&B. So I had a lot of, music coming at me from different genres. But I knew that I wanted to do pop.
Oh my God. Now, can I ask you guys, like, because you guys have mentioned other things, like Edison, you mentioned you studied biology. And then Roger, you mentioned you want to be a boxer, but was there any shitty jobs you guys did, like?
Oh yeah.
While you're pursuing?
Well, okay, so Roger, would you say George's was a shitty job? That one was okay.
That was okay.
That one was okay. Okay, all right. So I won't say that one. I've definitely worked security at Macy's. That really wasn't great because, I mean, to be honest, and I can say now because I no longer work there.
Yeah.
I would see people taking stuff, and I would just let them slide. I'm like, listen, I don't get paid that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, security at Macy's.
I think, man, I think mine would have been a couple summers where when my best friend Billy and I, we worked construction. And it was funny because, like, I'm not a handy person at all. So yeah, like he's like, it's just at all. And so Billy, he's probably 6'2", maybe 220, just jacked guy. And because I couldn't do anything, they would put me on the jobs that meant like didn't need much work. So in the dead of summer, in the heat of summer, I would look over and see Billy, like literally with refrigerators on his back, like climbing upstairs, putting refrigerators in apartments. And he'd look over at me, and I'm shooting the water hose up in the air because I'm supposed to be watering the plants. That was my job because they knew I couldn't do anything else. So it wasn't. I guess it was okay, but it was pretty crappy being out.
Yeah.
Oh, is our man here? There is he here?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Purple lighting.
Yo, guys. I am having such bad luck.
Yo, Roger
Nitty.
called it.
I am having such bad luck with this internet tonight, man. But I was watching the interview, guys, and you guys are doing your thing, holding up the bloodstained banner. Thank you.
You know I lift you up, brother. You know I lift you up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nitty, thank you for joining us, man. I apologize for me being late, but thank you for joining us. I was just asking these guys what shitty job you had, trying to pursue this musical career of yours.
Hey, man, you know what, man? You got to love what you do.
Yeah.
And I think that all three guys that's on this line right now absolutely love what we do. You know what I mean? Of course. I've been in the game for 30 years.
Yeah.
But of course, man, you have your ups and your downs. You have to love this music game. It has to come from the heart for you to continue to keep going. And I think that, I want to thank Roger, first of all, for even allowing me to.
You got cut off there?
Yo, it's like the timing.
There you go. You see me?
Yeah.
You see me? All right, so
yeah.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
I want to thank Roger for just allowing me to be a part of his platform, man. He's an amazing artist. Edson Sean is an amazing artist. And I'm telling you, the 18th, everybody is going to be at all because it's just going to be full of love and great energy. The vibe is ready to be released.
Oh, my God.
Be firing on all cylinders. We really will have something for everybody at this show, and it's going to be amazing. The most, not the most important part, but a big part of it is the Drink Up, Freak Out package, which I have to stick in there. So the town that we're doing the show is actually a dry town, which means they can't sell alcohol in you. Now, when you go out, you want to have a drink or two or three or whatever.
Yeah.
So what we came up with was, if you buy a bracelet in advance, it's $35. It's the Drink Up, Freak Out package. For $35, you buy this bracelet. As a thank you for buying this bracelet, we'll give you unlimited wine, beer, and hard seltzers for the night. But you have to pre-purchase that bracelet in order for us to give you that thank you at the venue. Wink, wink. So,
can I buy one?
I definitely want one too.
That's a great deal, guys. Come on, that's amazing.
it is.
Guys, so you guys have so much experience. Do you guys have any advice for young up and coming artists out there? Because with you guys all on this show, seems like it's 60 years experience.
I think for me, I would say, if you really believe, you've got to believe in yourself before anybody else will believe in you. You've got to have thick skin. Not everybody's gonna like you. You'll see that sometimes your family and your close friends won't support you the way strangers will, and that's hard to swallow until you get used to it. You know,
Right.
I'm one of those guys that I promote my friends. I promote whatever they're doing, and I don't always get that back, you know, and it's okay. You know, I know how it is. But anytime, this is exactly why I have these guys on my show, because I really feel like when they get, you know, if they can walk away from my show with just a few more fans, that's great. You know, and eventually if I can, you know, do some stuff with them and walk away with their fans as my fans, then we build, you know, we help each other out. But again, I think you don't take no for an answer, believe in yourself, and put time into your craft.
Great.
That's I don't know what Edson and Nitty.
No, definitely putting the time in. It's, you know, a lot of times people see the end result, but they don't see the hours, the 10,000 plus hours that goes into the product that you see in front of you. The other thing I would encourage people to do is tell your story. Your story is relatable. You don't have to write what you think will sell because that's what's selling. If it's not your story, tell your story, because there's going to be 1, 10, 100, 10,000 people who can relate to your story, and those will be your loyal fans. And appreciate your fans. Appreciate your fans. This is actually something Raj, I think, does this immaculately well, and I really picked up a lot from him into how to do that. But appreciating your fans is so important, because they didn't have to like a post, they didn't have to stream a record, they didn't have to come to a show. So gratitude is always important.
Wow. And I think, like, first of all, I want to give you guys a hand, because that is strong. That is strong, brother. Strong words. Listen, I just want to say to all you young artists coming up, you know, we're in a different, like, I think, like, it's a different time right now. You know what I mean? I think, like, everybody wants to be an artist. All right. So the only thing I could tell you is that my advice would be, is, like I said, love what you do. You know what I mean? Try not to get into it for just the money. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to make money all the time. You're not. You know what I mean? Just be in it because you love it, and the fame will come, man. It will come, man. You just got to have the heart and the desire to continue to drive and to go 100% every time. And like my man Edson said, love your fans, man, because they are the most important. You know what I mean? Like, once you get them locked in, keep them locked in, and just keep feeding them great stuff, and stay true to what you do. And that's it.
Boom.
Yeah, man. That's, you know, build on the fans aspect of it. The fans will come, but I think what you need to do, and what worked for me, was building up, you know, in Kansas, you know, we built up a little fan base in our community, and it was small, few people, and it grew and it grew. And next thing you know, people are like supporting, like I have a whole city supporting me back in Kansas, you know, and that's what helped sell my albums, and why they end up doing so well. I had that community. And then when, you know, I'm a huge New Kids on the Block, talked about earlier, when those fans, who I was just going to concerts because I love the guys, when they found out what I did, and they saw that what I was doing was similar to what it was in the lane that they love, and those girls support. And that's why one of the biggest reasons we sold out the show here in Jersey is because the New Kids has these girls trained. If they put something out, it goes fast. So when we put out everything, these girls want to snatch it up in case it's not going to be there. But starting small, man, start with a couple friends and just do what you do. Your friends, if you're good, people will catch on.
You know, this is just wisdom you guys gave out for free. That's amazing.
Can't take it with you.
I don't know how much longer I have you guys for, so I'm just gonna ask you a couple more questions, if that's okay.
Sure.
Or maybe I have them for 20 minutes. I think 20 minutes. He says, my producer. So
you guys.
Yeah. The question I wanted to ask you guys, because I think Nitty, you mentioned music changes, right? There's a lot of people who don't like to have their music change. They like to stay still. You know, they like to just listen to the classics. For you guys, do you guys like the new music that's coming out now? Like, I know for Edson, you were mentioning like Big Daddy Kane and stuff like that, and you're a musician now. Do you appreciate the new music that's come out now?
I do, because I really believe that, and this is my belief, is there's no bad music. You know, people say, "Oh, that's bad," but that music is going to resonate with somebody else. That's why they sell millions of records, whether it's marketing or whatever it is. It's resonating with millions of people. So, you know, there's something there. And so, to be honest, I listen to everything, man.
Yeah.
Of course, Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
From, you know, right?
Yeah. From Toronto.
Donda, right? But I feel like even music that I might not necessarily create.
Nope. Did we lose them?
Are gravitating towards, and not and still remaining true to myself. But it's like you gotta move with the times. You can still write the same way, but then change your production style. Depending on what you want to do. If you want to, maintain a nostalgia type of style, you can do that as well. But I think if you want to keep things fresh, incorporating things from some of the younger artists is very important. So I listen to everything, man.
Yeah.
That's key. I mean, just because I may not understand what people are doing or why people like a certain song doesn't mean that it's not good. I don't want to be one of those guys like, today's music is trash, because it's not.
Right.
There's some real stuff out there, man. You look at artists like Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars,
J. Cole.
Yeah. So there's some really great stuff. You can, and even The Weeknd, like I said, you can pull a little bit from all of these guys and blend it with yourself and come up with something unique and still true to yourself.
And Nitty?
Like my guy said, man, I mean, the new stuff is awesome, but I'm an 80s and 90s baby, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they did things a little different back then.
Yeah.
Like it was more of the stage show, and like it was no auto tune, and you know what I mean? It was just raw dogging it. It was raw dogging it, man. So I kind of learned
air horn.
Yeah. Producer's so busy.
It was raw, man. The music was raw, but of course, like if I want to say, like, if you want to last and get new fans, in these times, you have to move with the times just a little bit and still add some of the old way,
of course,
into the new music. So I think it's all a learning experience. I do like some of the music, you know what I mean? Not all of it, but I do like it, though. I like some of the artists like Chris Brown and Trey Songz, Bruno, and all of the women singers I love. Especially the pop women singers. I love them girls, man. They get down. So
Dua Lipa.
No, it's true.
It's crazy.
Dua Lipa. She's probably like half my age.
Yeah.
They killing it, man. They are killing the game. So it's like I'm really enjoying what I'm watching, but I'm definitely like Edson and my man Roger said, we take, but I'm an 80s baby, man. Like I watched and learned from new kids, New Edition, all those groups back then, like Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, all those guys, man. The groups, Prince, Jesse Johnson, all these guys, man. So it's just, I just can't wait till the 18th, because you're gonna get like 3 different styles, and you're gonna see where we come from, man. You're gonna be able to read that these guys are really true to what they're doing. So
you know what's good about the 80s and the 90s? I feel like the 80s and the 90s was like a boot camp, right?
Yeah.
It's like a boot camp. For like, okay, you have these tools.
It's the blueprint.
Exactly, it was the blueprint. It's like now, and when you had that blueprint, you now also had to be original.
Yeah.
Right?
Come on.
You had to stand out. You couldn't be like this person like that, because all the copycat rappers and singers from that era.
Yeah.
For example, and I love Christopher Williams, but he was like the counterpart to Bobby Brown, but he was like a one-hit wonder, right? But it was the blueprint. But all the copycats just didn't make it. The people that were like having their own style and sound, were the ones that lasted. And so that boot camp, now we're in 2021, we still have that, in our data banks. And so we can pull from that and still incorporate some of the modern stuff, and that's,
Nice, man.
Yeah, no, it's great. This is great, man. I love this discussion. Let's get away from. Let's just ask for you guys, because I want to know this from you folks in the States. What did you prefer, Donda, or did you prefer Certified Lover Boy?
Ooh. Oh man, that's a tough one.
I'll go with Certified, because they sampled In Sync on what he sampled. He got,
He can't go with the
which is interesting. He sampled Sailing from In Sync, which is actually a song from Christopher Cross, who is in my favorite genre of all, yacht
rock. Yep.
So I find it funny that he sampled them, but opposed to the original song, because theirs was a cover of that.
Sorry. I thought there was more. All right, and how about you guys, Edison and NITTY?
So I'm a big Drake fan. I like that he went back to kind of 2012 Drake a little bit. So I was happy about that. I also love his flow, and again, I love the fact that he seamlessly goes from emceeing to singing, which is something I've been doing for years. For years I've been doing that. But I love that he does that. Donda, for me, I liked it sonically, meaning how it sounded, how it was mixed. But I just feel like it felt like one big song with a bunch of features on it. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah. You know what?
Again, I liked some of the songs, but I think I'm going to go with Certified Lover Boy. I'm going to have to go with that.
Can we talk more about... No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Now for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't listened to both of these albums yet.
What?
I do know that both of the albums are really long, so I have to be ready.
Yeah.
I have to be ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To intake what I'm getting ready to get. But I'm hearing all of the the feedback from the internet, and everybody is siding with, with Canada, man. They're going with Drake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely going to take a listen to it on the weekend. I'm going to listen to both records, and I'll inbox you, man, and tell you my answer once I check it out. Because I haven't checked it out. I'm not even going to get up here and lie to you.
I'm not going to hold you.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a couple more questions. I think we have a couple more minutes. What was the hardest thing for you guys to to be a musician, to be where you are? What has been the biggest struggle for you guys?
Being vulnerable. I think for me, in the beginning when I started writing, I knew I was really good at making catchy hooks. Then that was one of the strong things, that I was catchy hooks. And then, I would write these creative bars. But I think when I really started coming into my own as a artist and a songwriter was when I started writing about topics that were personal to me and using this song as a means of healing. Once I was able to do that, I feel like I was able to connect with the people in a different way. I would perform certain songs, and depending on the content, I might tear up in the middle of the performance. But then what that did was endear me to these people where I'm like, yo, I really feel this song. So that was the hardest part for me, because being vulnerable and sharing your stories about insecurity, depression, breakups, wanting to give this up, like all of those things, like that really was the hardest thing. When I stepped into it, I just felt like I was really sharing who I was, which is really why I changed my name. So quick story, my name, I had another name before called Omni Blaze, which is the name of my studio.
Oh, wow.
Omni Blaze, Omni is the prefix for all, and Blaze is hot. It was like everything, I felt like everything I did was hot.
Of course.
Back then you had to have a racket. But when I started creating these songs that were more personal, I was like, I don't want to have a disconnect with the people. I didn't want to have a stage persona and then a different persona when you meet me in person. So I chose Edson Sean, which are my 2 middle names. And so that's why that's what my stage name is now.
Oh my God.
But you, Nitty. The hardest.
Oh man. I mean, I think the hardest thing for me, man, is like learning to fly on my own. You know what I mean? Because I'm such a group guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a different guy when I'm like by myself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't have to. Well, I have to. I'm learning. I gotta learn to trust myself, because I always, you know, like to look to the right of me, the left of me, and I got 4 other guys to like, you know, depend on. So I think the hardest thing for me, man, is learning how, because I want to get it right now.
Yeah. And
I'm learning as I go along, because I never wanted to like do solo stuff. I never ever did. Never did, man. I just, you know, people tell me, yo, you should try to do some stuff on your own. And I just got tired of people telling me to try it, man. And I think the hardest thing is just learning to fly on my own, man. It's tough. I'm scared. I'm nervous about it, but it's tough. But I like it. I like the feeling, man. I like the feeling. I'm not leaving my group by all means. Riff is the brand.
Yeah.
But I am definitely like, you know, it's harder right now for me to learn to stand on my own and not depend on other people. So watching Roger and Edson Sean, it's making me hype, my man. You have to understand what I'm saying. It's making me hype. So I'm getting ready to like really step into something different. So we'll see, man.
You know,
awesome.
just kind of unlike it, you know, thoughts about going, you know, doing a solo thing. I come from a group background. I start singing solo. I started a pop group when I was 14, and we were terrible, but we were just a bunch of people doing something positive. Eventually, that group got better, ended up getting a production deal, moving from Kansas to New York, and the whole time, I never ever thought about being a solo artist ever. And when the group disbanded, I was done. At 24 years old, I thought I'm too old for this. And it was that thing. I was the singer in the group, and I still feel like that. These guys were great singers, but what I learned to do, the hardest part was to own instrument. I don't sound like those guys, but I sound like Roger Ortega, and I made a sound for Roger that's recognizable. The hardest thing for me was accepting an independent record deal at 37 years old, and I think that when I was writing for this company, small company in Union City, New Jersey, and they were like, you know, doing an album. I'm like, man, I'm 37, 36. No, but I don't want to put it on out. We're gonna laugh at me, you know, this 36, 37-year-old singing pop, you know, like it's not gonna work. They're like, no, there's a different. So I had to learn, accept that I got to put myself out there. Just, you know what? I was like, I'm telling my daughter not to give up on your dreams. Like this is what I've always wanted. I got to make it, and it ended up hitting number 62 on iTunes, and here we are. I've learned the hardest thing too is to accept all my flaws. People will always take unflattering of you and post them. You know, when you're taking pictures with fans or you're doing something, there's going to be those. You know, yeah, I'm freaking human. You know, I'm not a model. You know, I just put myself out there, and you never know with like social media, like what people are going to like, what they're not going to like. Sometimes I'll put a post up. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. We're going to get lots of likes and views on this, and you know, we'll get like 50, 60, you know, or you never know. And then sometimes you just put up something stupid, you know, or you're just smiling or whatever, and you know, everyone loves it.
Oh yeah, I've seen your Instagram posts. They're pretty. Those are pretty good ones. You know, I think I saw it with you and your wife or someone. You guys are in bed. you guys did that. Like, what's he thinking about? He's like, I hope he's not thinking about other women.
That's hilarious.
And you're like, I'm thinking about other women. Great, great stuff.
I got some flack. I had to explain to a few people that I was doing. There was another meme. I don't know if you see the other meme where it was a popular meme where it's the same thing. A guy's lying in bed with back to back with a girl, and he's like, "I'll bet he's thinking about other women." And he's like, "I wonder if Hulk Hogan would have really won." You know, it's always something random. It's never about other women. But I wanted it to be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about other women," and I got a lot of flack for that. But
no, don't worry about it. Hey, man, as a comedian, you know, sometimes your jokes do well and sometimes your jokes don't do well. So it's all right, man.
And same with song. Sometimes you think it's going to be one that they're going to love. You put it out, and it's crickets, you know?
Yeah.
I remember. Go
ahead.
I was doing a show in St. Louis, or just outside St. Louis, and I was talking to the sound guy the day of the show, or someone at the venue. And he's like, "Hey, are you doing that song When the Lights Go Down?" I'm like, "No, man, I hate that freaking song." And he goes, "Oh, man, that's my favorite song." I'm like, "Oh, well, guess what song played that night?" Never know. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys? Well, how do you guys know when the song's like done? You know, like how do you guys know when you're like, I can't contribute anything else to this song?
When you run out of money.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, for me, to be honest, song is never done for me. Like I'll hear something I recorded, or even the last song I just released. There's always something that I can do differently. But I've given myself a discipline where it's like, okay, I know I have to put this out by a certain time. I put what I feel this song needs. If I can listen to that song on repeat and not cringe or like I need to add this, then I'm like, it's done. I mean, there's always something. I mean, any piece of art is never done. There's always something to add to.
Oh, nice.
And that's also easy for Edson because he can do it all himself. I have to pay.
You have to pay people. How about you?
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that. It's like Edson Sean, he's a producer. He plays the guitars and, you know, he does that stuff. I always, like, my formula is like, if you can sing a song with acoustic guitar, it's going to last forever. You have to understand. If you can just sing it with just acoustic, like you put all this production and stuff behind records, if you can strip it down, like you can strip it down and do acoustic set to it, it's a hit record, man.
Listen,
you just got to keep driving it. You got to keep driving it to people.
Exactly. I have artists that I work with all the time, and they want to have all these bells and whistles on it. I'm like, hey, listen, look, a good song is a good song. I could record a good song on a 4-track, and if it's a good song, it'll go. So, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Wow. You guys, I'm
crazy.
I'm going to give you guys one last question because I just want to know this from other artists. If you guys had to do a karaoke, what is your go-to song?
Oh.
Wow.
Love by Music Soul Child.
Whew. All right.
Gosh, what would mine be? It's funny because...
That's the sound of the police!
No.
That's the sound of the police!
That's the wrong one, Joseph. Wrong one. Wrong, Joseph. It's all right.
What?
You know, during the pandemic, I started an online karaoke event every month, and there was always a different theme. So I had different songs that I would go to. I you know, it's funny. Like I was actually at a bar in Kansas a few weeks ago, and the waitress, you know, I saw a piano there, and I wanted to go play the piano, and because of the pandemic, they were like, "No, you can't play the piano. You can't touch." And I'm like, I promise you, I'm not gonna suck. Like, I can sing pretty decently. And she's like, "Well, why don't you sing something?" And I froze because I couldn't think of a song to sing. I'm like, there's a million in here, but I couldn't find the one. So I sang a little bit of an original song or whatever.
Nice.
But after I was like, that song. It was just because it was the first one I could think of. So, I don't know. You have to come back to me on that one.
Okay.
You know what? I'll tell you.
All right.
Water Runs Dry. Man, that's my go-to.
Water runs dry. Nice.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
Are you gonna give us a little sample?
Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay. All right. I expect. That's all right. How about you? How about you, Nitty?
You know what, man? I never did karaoke in my life. I've watched people do it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
Had a chance to partake in it. But if I had to pick a song to do, it would be definitely any artist from the 80s. I'm just the 80s baby.
Yeah.
You know, like it could be from Madonna all the way up to the New Kids on the Block. You know, anybody from the 80s, man. Richard Marx. Like, I'm just saying, like just those artists are just, you know, it runs deep in my heart. Those 80s artists, man, are incredible.
Nitty.
So to be them.
Run this.
Come on, man. You know, man.
Well,
Richard Marx was up.
that was great.
I actually met him
Oh.
out in LA, man. I was in a session watching him sing.
Wow.
And I didn't know what I was walking into. Like, this was when Riff was recording their first album. One of the music directors of the movie Lean on Me was taking us around, showing us around California. And he said, Mike, my name was, Michael back then. He said, Michael, I want to take you somewhere. And I didn't understand why I was in the car with this dude alone and he's taking me to see things and not the whole group. You know what I mean? But he took me into the studio and Richard Marx was in the booth singing, man.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, he came out. He's, I'm 6 feet. So he's shorter. He had a lot of hair at the time.
So he was about
and
6 feet.
I was blown away. I was blown away by this guy vocals, man. He did a song, one take, man. I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
He's
I was
amazing.
blown away. So
He's an amazing songwriter. You know, he wrote This I Promise You for NSYNC.
I know, man. Incredible.
You're really a diehard NSYNC fan, eh, Roger?
I mean, yeah, no, who are they?
It's all good, man. It's all good.
No, I love it.
I know. Guys, we got to wrap up. This has been a great privilege for me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
For having you guys on. Plug away, what's your social medias? And obviously you have the sold out show, but they can also buy that wristband, I believe, right? $35, all you can drink, basically. Yeah, please. One of you, whoever wants to start first, that'd be great.
I guess,
Okay.
Go for it.
Listen,
David.
I just want to thank everybody, man, that got the tickets for the concert. Like, if you're watching today, 48 hours they sold the concert out. Roger fans are incredible because Roger fans don't know who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna disappoint. We're gonna sing some songs. You're gonna like my vibe. But I'm telling you right now, you can follow me at Nitty Green at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can follow me at Riff Sounds. And if you're not doing nothing on Sundays, check me out on Vibe Sessions at 7 p.m. I'll talk to you a little bit too.
There you go.
He's very engaging with the audience. He engages very well with his show on Facebook.
Yeah.
So definitely check him out.
Yeah.
The beauty of Rogers fans is like they know their music. That's the and have shown me so much love. Like, again, these are not fans; they're like friends, and it's really true. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody. Meet and greet to the show. I'm excited about it. You can find me everywhere on social media at Edson Sean, EDSON SEAN. Come talk to me. I just dropped a single called Digging in a Coal Mine at the end of July. And September 17th, I'm going to be dropping a new single called Live Life.
Awesome.
Yes. My fans, one of the things I love about them, they are like friends. They tell you how it is. Up until all summer, I always have summer scruff. and I keep this summer scruff. And oh, how they loved it. Because when I shaved it today, they were like, that ain't it. So,
I was just getting ready to say you look like a baby, man. Yep.
Don't worry, the scruff will come back.
Catch me at roger.com. You got all the links to all my social there. I've got a book coming out Friday, Back to the Nightlife, which the song was written specifically for this show, actually.
Awesome.
And it comes out Friday. It's actually, honestly, it's available now on my website. But it'll be available.
Buy that. Go buy that.
Go to the website. Yeah, the website, please. Buy it there, because I'll put a lot more money on you buying it there than I will if you stream it on Spotify, which I'd still like for you to do. But, I give me some money so I can finish a song, properly, because I got to pay instant. That's it, y'all. I thank you for having us. So after you watch Nitty's show on Sunday night at 7:00, stay on Facebook. Come back at 10 p.m. for Sunday Night Soft Rock with RO. It's a silly show. It'll make you laugh.
I love it.
Who knows, man? We can have you on as a guest sometime, man.
Oh man, that would be hilarious.
We bring Ricky up, man.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll do something.
No, I feel like you'd fit right in, bro. Bro, for real.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. But yeah, thanks. Thank you so much, guys. I'm really happy that your show sold out. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. And anytime you guys want to come back on, that'd be great. I don't know what else to say, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you guys ever come to Toronto, I'm gonna be sure to check you guys out. At a show, and that's 100%. Real. But yeah, thanks, guys, and have a good night. Thank you, everyone who was watching on Frequency 5 FM. That was a round of applause for those guys. Yeah. Always there, horns, Joseph? So thank you for everyone watching at home. If you're watching this later, thank you for watching. This has been the Ricky Ricardo Show. My name's been Ricardo Mejias, and we'll stay tuned for Time Out Radio. I'm going to have my co-host here, Chad Gibson, and we're going to be talking sports. So anyways, stick around if you want to. Take it easy.